Okay, so we are live here once again. My name is Daniel. I'm here with Driving Solutions, and today we are doing part 2 of our App Engine Studio project using Flow Designer, Workflow Studio. In our last video, we had talked about modifying our project, and we need to add an additional table. And this additional table is going to allow us to keep track of our races. Okay, so originally we have this match table, and in the flow we were able to create our matches. But now, since there are going to be multiple races per match, it only makes sense to create an additional table to make the match the parent, and the races and the results of the races are going to go to our parent table with a count, and we can run multiple races for each match to determine the winner. Okay, so in our match table, we have our times and our win counts. Okay, so we're gonna leave our win counts here. So this is gonna be added on whenever our race happens. Okay, so we're gonna get our lanes and our times onto this other table. Okay, so if we look at our tables, we're gonna add a new table. It's gonna be called races. Okay, or race, right? And this one can be created from a blank table. We'll go ahead and do that. And we're not going to extend any tables. Let me think. Do we need? Nope. Okay, so we'll just create a new table. No need to extend it. And we'll call this one race. Okay, singular race. And we'll go ahead and make it an auto number. Okay, so we'll do race. Okay, there we go. All right, so that just gives us individual races. And then here we will go ahead and just keep these permissions like that. I think we're going to adjust some of these permissions in the future, but we'll just keep it as simple as that. Because I don't think we want our users to modify that table at all. So that table should be like handled by our flow designer, our business rules. Okay, so on this table, we'll go ahead and, so I was making some notes here. So we're gonna need a lane. So the lane is gonna be referenced to the car, right? The wheels. So I always like going here in the fields to add our new fields. So we'll call this one lane 1. Okay. And then we'll do this one lane 2. Lane 1, lane 2. Put a space here. Okay, and this should be reference to our wheels. Okay. Because it's the car, right? So that way we're just plugging in, okay, this car was in lane 1, this car was in lane 2. So it's a reference. Okay. All right, so the other thing we need is the time. Okay, so lane 1 time. And so in our previous table here, and we did do a flow that will determine the winner by the lane time. And this is a decimal field. Okay, here. So this lane. So here, see, we had to do it by racer, right? But now this makes more sense. Each race is by lane, right? And we determine who's in which lane, and then the lanes will switch, right? So the time is a decimal, okay? And we can measure the thing by decimals. So we will make this one decimal. And then we want 3 spaces for the decimal. So I don't know if we can determine that here. Okay, there's no thing for that. That's okay. So we'll do lane 2 time. And it will be the same decimal. All right, then what we need. Should we put a state? I mean, What else we need? We got the lane, we got the time. I said winner. So should the winner be like a choice field? Lane 1, lane 2? What if there's a draw? I've seen the race have the same exact time. So how do you determine the winner there? Should you do a checkbox, lane 1, check? Or should you do a drop down, lane 1, lane 2, draw, right? So I mean, there's a few ways to go about it, right? What we want to do for this record is, let's say we have it, like I'm thinking like mobile, right? When it's mobile, we are we running the race. The racer finished the race, okay? Lane 1, because our track has lane 1, lane 2, and it has the time right there, right? So we can enter the times on the mobile app. We save it, and then from there, it's gonna analyze the times, and it's gonna make a determination. Okay, lane 1 won. Who was in lane 1? It adds the count. Okay. So we on the match, right? We have racer 1, racer 2. So if we have racer 1, racer 2, but here we're doing it by lane, right? So these will go back and forth. We got racer 1, racer 2. So like our flow, so either our flow is gonna be smart enough to know where each racer is at any given time, and then it's gonna update that to our to the top, right? Or should we just keep it the same here with the racer 1, racer 2 in this, and then we put racer 1 who was in each lane, right? Should we keep track of the lanes, or should we just keep track of we need to keep track of the person, like the car, the time for that car. Should we tell who's on which lane? All right. So maybe we can put racer 1 lane, left lane. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do racer 1. Okay. Okay, so we'll keep it with the racer. And then here we do R1, R2. The good thing before you save it, you want to make sure you get all your fields correct with the correct names. Because if you need to change it later, right, you'll have to delete it. And so otherwise, you can always change the label, the column name. If you need to change it, if you're still at the beginning, you can delete it, redo it. If you're already saving data, you're stuck with the name. Otherwise, you have to create another field and kind of like move all that data over. So that could cause other problems. So always think about those names. So should we care about the lanes? The lanes are important because the track has places where the lanes at, right? So that's the only thing that's kind of like, this is better for our code to always know, okay, racer 1 was this person over here, right? And then which lane were they in, right? So we'll just do it like this, just to keep it simple. And then we'll make this like a choice. One. This, you just pick whichever lane it was, I guess. Okay. So I wonder if there's a way to, if they pick one here, this one automatically goes to 2. That's like a UI thing. All right. And then we'll do winner. Make this a choice also. Now again, are you doing racer? Are you doing lane? Or are we doing reference? Okay, let's do. It's not confusing. Are we accounting for draws? So if you have a winner, it could be like a reference. Okay, winner, reference, boom. Or it could be winner, racer 1. Who's racer 1? You know what? Let's do like reference. And then okay, so and then now I just realized another thing. Here we're talking about wins, right? So are you calling? All right, and then so we have also on the driver, we have wins also, right? So should we do race wins, match wins, right? So we have it here. Well, actually, the driver can also have like, this driver supposedly has so many wins. Let's say you go to a tournament and you enter 10 cars, right? And 5 of those cars wins, right? The driver has 5 wins. The car has 1 win each, right? So, hey, that's a good stat, right? So let's see. Because if we go to wheels, right, this is where we have the wins for the car itself. So we have the amount of races, and then we even have a point system here. Then we have wins, right? Um, so let's be more like I kind of like numbers, I like stats, So there's nobody's using this yet. So if we go and we do like this is just wins, right? But if we do race wins, okay, remember what I told you about changing the field? See, I can't change this, right? So I can do this is where we need to make a good decision here because we got wheels, right? Nobody's using this field yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and make an executive decision here, and we are going to update this. And the way we do that is we're gonna delete it. Right, and then we're gonna be more specific now. So we have our races, okay? and this is talking about the cars, right? The wheels. So we're gonna add race wins. I'm gonna add, this is integer. The integer are just whole numbers, right? Then we're gonna do match wins. Okay. So like you can win one match but lose, I mean you can win one race but lose the match because you gotta win two, right? So this number is gonna be lower than the races, right? And then the race wins. So races is total amount of races you race. Let's say our system automatically tracks the cars and you can race each car without having to put the data in, right? That's where we want to get to. And it's going to make, like, if the system is automatically putting in the times at least, and we got a workflow that determines who's the winner. Now we need to account for draws, because I've seen the same exact number, right? But actually our system tells us who's the winner. Yeah. So even though they have the same exact number, we do get the winner. So how can I tell the computer who's the winner? Because the thing only shows me 3 decimal points, and they'll have the same exact number, right? Same exact time, and but it tells me, okay, this one won. So how do we tell who's the winner with our if we're doing, okay, if this is more than that, if they're the same, right? Maybe we can determine who's the winner. All right. Or they get to race again. So that was another thing. There's like a re-race sometimes if the cars don't finish, right? Especially when there's a track that has curbs. Sometimes the car like gets a DQ, or you might want to rerun the race for some reason. Do you count it? Do you like not write it down? So there was a button, there's like a checkbox that says rerun the race, so it doesn't count, right? But in this case, we're just gonna keep it as simple as we can, so we won't make a big deal of it. But we are gonna differentiate the amount of races that they win and the matches that they win, because the match means that they're moving forward. They can win one race, but they need to win 2 or 3, right? So at least it keeps track of the races that you won. You're not simply just lose the whole thing because you didn't win the match, right? So maybe we can still give them points for, not losing every match, right? Or not losing every race. Okay, cool. So let's see, we got race 1, match wins. So when you win the match, you do go to the next round. So I won't put round 1 because that makes no sense. And maybe there's a checkbox for champion, right? So can you, because they can be multiple champions, right? So are you champion one time, right? I had a car, it was champion for, like, he was a fast car, right? So he was champion in the early stages, and then I got cars that became faster. But he was our classic champion, and we give him some respect, right? So do you win once and you get a champion checkbox, right? Or do you have like a, yeah, you can have both, because then you can have you won multiple champions. So let's do this. Let's do champion. Champion. Okay, and then this is like true. All right, so that's for the cars. Yeah, and we got model. Should we add make and model? Because some of these Hot Wheels, they don't have make or model. It's just like a name, right? These weird. I hate that they're not making like actual cars anymore. They got all these crazy like looking cars. You know, I think they just want to charge you more for the actual models of cars. You know, because they have like these $5 Hot Wheels now. It's like what happened with the Ferraris that I used to buy for $1? You know, you can't find any. I used to find like a whole bunch. Like those GTOs. I don't have any of those nice cars. So if you have a nice car, you know, definitely send me some. All right, so we'll go ahead and just save that. At least we got like a little bit better stats in as far as like the win percentage and all that. All right, so we got our race. Okay, we got our winner. I feel like doesn't need like active is true, you know, like or state is because these are just one time. These are just one time races. You got the time, and then it shows the winner, right? So can we override this winner thing? If it's a draw, then I guess we just put who won here, right? I think that kind of makes sense. So that way, we're not overcomplicating it. We got our racer reference, our time, and which lane are they on. I think that makes sense. So like the racers will be the same always. The lane is going to be changing one or two. Okay. All right. I think that's the least complicated. Now, if we go to our match, we can just delete this one. Okay, lane. Yep. Delete it. And the time. I mean, we can have a fastest time, I guess. That'll be cool, right? So, like we can determine from the matches, like which was the fastest time, and then we'll put it in the match, right? So, and then we can kind of like aggregate who had the fastest time of all the matches, right? So I think that makes sense. We can do that. And then we got wins, and then we can put the match winner as a reference also. Okay. So that way we kind of like it's duplicating like going up. So the information remains like similar between the tables. It's easier to kind of like put that same block in here. Just move it up, right? And then we got R2 lane. We don't need to track that here. So the round, that makes sense. Okay, the stage and progress once it's completed. And then we get, okay, so we're gonna create a match winner. That's gonna be a reference. Okay, and then we'll do fastest time. And we'll do, see, it's like fastest time who and what time, right? So fastest time. So it could reference the match. Hmm. I mean, how can you reference two things, right? Like who and what time? Because you can put fastest time, but then how do you know who was that fastest time? Because it's not necessarily the winner. It could be somebody else that, you know. Unless you have like two fields, fastest time, so and so, then the time. Or it'll be a string like fastest time, then you gotta like interpret that. Because you wanna like, okay, we got fastest time for the match, but then overall, the fastest time, right? Because if we go here, like this is where the times are gonna be, right? So we have fastest time. Why do we have, oh, R2 time lane? So we got fastest time, R1. Yeah, because if you're referencing the race, right, then you're referencing match. Can it be a reference? No, because I'm thinking like a dot walk, right? Fastest time, this match, this field, right? But then the field is either or, right? It's either one, lane two, reference, fastest time. But you can't really do that here. This will be like fastest match and then fastest time. Oh man. All right, let's do this. We'll do fastest time and then we'll put the time. We'll do fastest time, decimal. And then we'll do fastest racer. Or will we do fastest match, right? I mean, you want to like pinpoint that actual match. That's what I'm trying to get to. Like, how do you do that? I mean, you can kind of like create a string, right? Okay, let's do this actually, because this is not. Yeah, this is kind of like a few. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this was gonna be so hard. Because you need a person and the match and the time. You need three things. Or you need the match and the racer and the time. You need three things actually. So fastest time. Because you kind of like you can dot walk this. Like if it's easy in code to do, right? But like let's say you want to measure this like against other records. Kind of like a query, fastest time. Because you can just put the time there, but how do you know who did it, where, which match? You know what? We'll just have the time. It's okay. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. So all of our tables are created. Now we're gonna update this match winner. So this one's now gonna be like race winner, right? Because it's not the match. And then the match needs to, I mean, all right, so this one, we're gonna do the same, but with the wins. Okay, so this is gonna determine the match winner. Okay, so we have all right, so I think whoever okay, yeah, this one we totally have to create this again. Actually, I'm gonna oh man, can't cancel this. I saved it. Okay, yeah, see, actually we're gonna go to Workflow Studio, title of our video, Workflow Studio. So this is the new view for Flow Designer, Workflow Studio. And we have all of our flow actions here. We also have our decision tables, our actions, subflows, and processes. Hopefully in this project, we get to create a process. Process is a combination of flows. So the way that we're building these flows is they're kind of modular, and there are trigger based on the parent record or the child record, and it will update like business rules basically. And there could be a place where we can use a process also, because to run a tournament, I believe it's a whole process, right? And we're gonna have like many different moving parts to it. So in this case, we got this update match winner, right? If I wanted to duplicate this, can I do it from here? Can delete it. Not do it from here. Nope. All right, but you can copy a flow from the flow. All right, so go back. And all right, so it didn't save what I just deleted. Great. So I'm just gonna repurpose this update match winner. We're gonna do update race winner because it has already the logic that we had for it. All right, so we're just gonna change our trigger table. Right, and then here we had stuff that doesn't exist anymore. That's why it's empty. So we'll go ahead and change our table to race. Okay, and then here we were going based on the times, right? Is not empty. So if these time fields are not empty and we save it, right? Not empty. And no, this needs to be end. So when both of these are not empty, right? So meaning when we have times in here and we save our record, and then it says run once. Okay, yeah, sure, delete it all. All right, and then we have here, we go to our trigger. If time, R1 time is, it's less than R2 time, then update. Okay, so this is what we want to do. So now we're gonna go up, right? So this is for racer 1. So that's why we wanted to keep the racer 1 and racer 2 thing the same. And we just say racer 1 was in this lane or that lane. The lane doesn't matter. Just so we can, you know, when we look at the cars going down the lane, then the time is on the lanes, right? But when we enter it into our system, like it doesn't care which lane there were, but it cares which car we're talking about. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do match. So this is gonna update our match count. Okay. So we're gonna go match, 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 match. And we have R1. So racer 1, R1. And we're gonna take how do we know how many races there are? Oh my gosh. So we might even have to do a lookup first because this is setting a value. It's not adding to it, right? So see, I can't reference that same number in there. What? Nope, because then okay, so we first need to create a lookup. Okay, I'll just put whatever here. We gotta go back to this. So how can I put something before? Okay, right here. So we need to do, okay, so do we, all right, so we just look it up when, we can perform the lookup here because they both have the same parent, right? So either way, we can put it here, we can put it up here. Yeah, so we'll just do lookup. Record. So this is all for a tournament. Now, if we're doing single races, then we have to create like a whole thing just for that. Because that is gonna not be a tournament. And this is kind of like, you know, going for the tournament. I mean, I guess we can kind of like build that in some of these flows, but let's keep it for the tournament. Okay. So we are looking up the match, right? So we can have our current values because we want to add to that count. We're not just counting from 0 every time. So we are going to look it up, and our race record trigger has a what does it have? All right, so we actually don't have our relationship yet. Okay, because we have our match, right? And our match has races, but there's no link to that yet. So we need to put from the race table, we gotta have a lookup to the match, right? And when we create the match, it automatically we need to create our race from the match, right? And I guess we're gonna have to use flow to determine the matches if they're needed or not. So probably that's why we need a state on the match, because you can either create like all the matches that you're ever gonna need, and or you create the matches as you go, right? That's an interesting point here, but good thing that we kind of figure that we needed this now. Okay, so see, there's no reference to it. So now we need to add a match. Round match. Okay, so we'll call it round match, right? So that's kind of like parent match, round match. And we are going to make this a reference to our match. That way, we can make that list thing show up. Now, when we go to our thing here, it's not going to show up yet. Let's see. All right, so we saved it. Let's see if we can do it now. So we have our condition is going to be our All right, so we kind of like need to refresh this. So now we have our round match. Okay, so we're gonna put this, we need to edit. All right, so this is kind of like, okay, that goes here, but, oh, there it goes. All right. All right, so this should give us our match record. So here we're gonna be able to update that match record, right? And we're gonna be able to pull the R1 wins. Okay, we got R1 wins, and then we'll do +1. All right. Okay. Yep. And we will also update its own record, race. It will update the winner, right? Okay, if that's true. On this one, if R2 time is less than, see, this is less than, see, it's not less than or equal to, right? Because if it's less than or equal to, then we have a problem. Okay, so let's see. Then R1 time. Okay, so we're gonna duplicate this. So since we duplicated it, look, I think that's because we're going to use it either way, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually move this up here. Okay. And then that way we're not doing this twice. Because we can just use that one time there. This is the match. And then we'll add 1 to it. Right, and then we'll update. Now we can duplicate this one though. Oops. So then we'll change this one. Winner is Racer. Okay. Then we got Racer 1 here still. Okay, we got update. Racer 1. Day Racer 2. Racer 2 wins. Okay. I think this should work now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and activate it. And I'm gonna, okay, so we don't have any races actually. So how are these races getting created? All right, so these races are gonna get created somehow, but let's see, I'm just gonna create. So it's important that these things get created automatically because they're linked, like, and then they have, we don't want orphan children, right? So this right here will be an orphan record, right? So it doesn't have any parent record. Oops. So our form doesn't have any form. So let's do a 2-lane, 2-column. We do R1. And then I guess we'll have like our race number too. So that way we know, okay, this is race 1, race 2. The winner. Oops, winner. Yeah, so we do need one more field here. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. So you can also add fields from right here. So we'll go ahead and use this feature so you can see. We're gonna put race number. And we'll make this integer too. Okay, so we got race number, race. What is this number? What what is this number? The heck? Oh, okay, never mind. I'm like, what is this number thing? This is just the name of the record number. Yeah. Put this here. All right, I think this makes sense now. Oh, great. They're all empty. So this should be like one, and then this should be like the actual racer that's in the match, right? So none of this should be updated. And he was in lane one. This one's lane two. And then we got 1.568. And then this one's 1.567. Okay. Really close. And then we'll go ahead and save it. All right. So this should run the flow. All right. So let's refresh. And we should have a winner, which we don't have anything. Let's see what happened. All right, so I'm gonna test this, and we'll test it with this record here. Record not found. Which record is not found? Cup record. So it's not finding something. Okay. Ouch. All right, so we need to kind of like make sure that this is gonna get created correctly. But let's look up, make sure this thing's correct here. So let's see, maybe sysid is okay. So this is kind of like maybe this is what was missing. Let's test this. So a record, the reference is a sysid, so that's why you can do that. All right, so look up now. It makes sense. Sysid is that actual record. We get a record. All right, and false. Both are false. Okay, so it's only like see the decimal points. It's not going to 3 decimal points. So how do we fix that now? Let's go back to the flow. All right. So did our, oh, look at this. See, it's only putting 2 decimal points. Why? So we need 3 decimal points here. This is the part where I will Google, how do we get 3 decimal points? Huh? I think that's an attribute. It's probably some type of attribute. Does it have to be an attribute? I don't know. Let's see. Canva. Okay, so we're gonna do 3. Display. Oh man, that's like a normal thing. Check out this article. Knowledge. Knowledge. It's knowledge. We need more knowledge. Come on. We need more speed. At least it's not slow. Like a couple weeks ago, I did some streaming. It was super slow. All right, so it says create decimal type field. Set the scale attribute to 10 on the dictionary record. You will notice that. All right, workaround. This is expected behavior. Max length value needs to change at the same time as the scale value in order to have correct values in database level. If you change the scale alone, then the DB does not reflect the change, which means that the default values are still used. Open advanced view in dictionary entry. Add scale equal 5 or other number. Click save. Modify field value of max length to something different than it currently is. Default 20. Save. If you create new column of type decimal, don't set the scale initially. It will default to 2. If you then change the scale value to another number, then you need to change the max length value twice in order for the DB to reflect. What? This. All right. Yeah, sure. So I don't get it. Does it work? All right. So we found the advanced view, and then it went away. What happened? I think I saw it. This is it. Depends on field. Hmm. No way. This doesn't make any sense. Now, it could be a string, and then you convert that to a number. Every time. So, hmm. What? This doesn't make any sense. Open advanced view of dictionary entry for the decimal field on your table. Add scale equals 5 in the attributes field. Oh, like that? Or without? Oh, attributes. Okay, attributes. Nation dependent calculate value. Okay, so value. So I guess it's just the value. Okay, so we do value. What does this mean? Scale. So we'll just put like not with that. We'll just do scale 3. Right? We want 3 decimal points. Is that decimal points 3? Let's see. Submit. And then they say that we need to Can I just enter it here? And then we gotta change this to like that. So let's see, eraser 2. I'll refresh this. Ah, what? It did not do it at all. Refresh the whole thing. This shouldn't be that hard, but it is. All right, let's do scale higher than that. This is how the attribute. Yeah, I wish they had a screenshot of what it should look. That would have helped more than. Sometimes you don't know if You need to put exactly how it is in here to get to their like save. And I close the other one. All right, so we'll definitely figure this out, but max length field in the scale attribute. Max length. Oh, look, see, now I think this is better now. See, I don't know what the heck. Why did this one say? Oh, oh look, and then it took that out. Okay, that will change. So let's see. Okay, so let's do 1.4578. That. Uh-huh. There we go, finally. All right, took it, right? Okay, so that's good. So definitely, so the attribute, you type it in like that. Now we're gonna go and do this for the other one. R1 time. To advance. To attribute here, scale. So I guess you gotta save this. And then you save this one, I guess. Can't do them both together. And then you go here. And then you can reload this. You can type in that. There you go. Okay. And I can do two more, I think. Let me see. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, so it's up to that number. Okay, cool. So we don't need those two. All right, and then I think we need to go here and do the same for this field. Fastest time. Yep. Go here. Go scale. Oops. Scale. Oops. Scale 5. Let's do that. And then I guess with max length 20. And then we'll go to our round here. And then we don't have that field here neither. Ugh. We'll go to our form and we can add our match winner and fastest time. That's it. And this one doesn't have a display, so we'll do the number. What is this, race? Okay, race. We'll do it by number, I guess. Yeah. This one has a title. The title, we said that we wanted to do the formula, right? Formula. Let's concatenate. Racer 1. Racer 2. Right, so if we reload this. Oh no. Wait a minute. Alright, we need display value. How do you do display value? Ha! Ha 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 ha. So can this be dot walked? Reference. Reference. Can we not get the display value of this? Why not? Oh man. I'm currently working on it. Okay. Form. Script include. Oh man. Crazy. I guess we can't do that with this formula. Alright, so there's the limitation. Formula does not play well with reference fields. Bummer. Because in the form, it shows the name, right? So I don't know why we can't get the name from there. Because it's never going to make any sense. Great. Oh well. Yeah, this doesn't look pretty at all. I only got one. Oh well. So let's see, fastest time. That works still. Let's see. Yeah, it works. Okay. Yeah, so see, I wanted to like have the matches. Oh, I picked the same car. It can't be the same car. So actually, we need to have a rule. The racers cannot be the same car. Right, so that will be for the next video. See what we can do with this title. So we learn about our scale. We learn about our flow. So we only did the points, the match winners. Right, so for our next video, we'll take a look and see how we can improve our automation in here. Hopefully we can have our tournament begin, create our matches, create our races. When we start putting our winners, it can go up to the match, determine our winner when they win enough matches, determine once they win a race, to create another race, right? The next race, and it determines the winner, or if 1 and 1, then it creates another race, right? So it will be dynamically created that way. Then it will go and put that winner for the next round. Okay, so those are the three things that we need to do for our next video, and hopefully it keeps going up the rounds until we get our champion. And then we can also update the car stats with the winners for each round, and then we can have the tournament be won basically, so we can have a complete tournament. And after that, we'll see what other things we can create for this application, make it publicly available. I'm gonna start updating it to the GitHub so it can become like a project that people can work on also. So let me know if you're interested in collaborating, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, thank you for your time. Please like, share, and comment. And until next video.